What is up? My name is Dunna from the channel Dunna Did It, and Shutout has asked me to answer some questions about my journey through this photography, videography, YouTube universe. So here we go. Every journey has the beginning. So how and when did you start your adventure with photography? My adventure with photography basically started because I wanted to get better photographs and videos while I was on a trip one time. My family was going to Mexico for Christmas, and I thought it would be really cool if I had an actual decent camera and could level up above what I could get out of my phone at the time. And so I picked up a Sony a6000 and took it on this trip, and the photos I think made it, but none of the video footage ever made it anywhere. So, but that was really what sparked my interest in this whole thing, is got me vlogging, and it got me taking more photographs and all of that kind of stuff. And now here I am, and basically I talk about it and think about it all the time. Did you know from the moment you taken your first picture what kind of photography you like best and is right for you? What do you like to capture most and why, and what inspires you most? From the moment that I took my first picture until now, I still have no idea what my style or my favorite type of photography is. It's something that's kind of continually evolving. I'm a learner. I love to just learn. So everything that I do has to do with me learning a new skill. So if it means that I'm going to take on a different style because I want to learn a specific new technique, then that's where I go. So it's less about the specific style of photography or videography that I'm doing at the time, and it's more so about what I want to learn at the time. And because of that, I don't really have a specific thing that I do. And that kind of answers the question of what inspires me most as well. The learning is really what makes me want to push forward and do more of it, because every time I take a photo, or every time I make a video, or every time I sit down to edit, I'm learning something new. I'm trying new techniques, and I'm working something out. I'm basically a problem solver. What's your most memorable and the most exciting experience related to photography that helped you in understanding what photography is to you? My most memorable experience around photography probably has to do with traveling with my wife and taking photos while we're out having fun. You just really combining those two aspects of just kind of adventure and photography at the same time is so rewarding, because not only do you get to kind of flex your photography skills, maybe learn something new, try out new things, but also you're really capturing a moment. And when you look back on those photos, not only are you going to remember how much fun you had in the moment, but also remember how much fun you had learning and taking the photos and editing them afterwards. And it becomes this bigger process than just going on the trip or just doing whatever that activity was. Can you remember any moment or moments when you noticed the biggest change or improvement in your photos, and what helped you with that? Honestly, I think I'm still too new to the photography game to really have any really specific moments that threw me forward. It's still very fresh as far as I'm learning a lot. Yeah, I can't think of a specific thing that pushed me forward in my photography. It's really just been a steady climb this whole way. Basically, from the first time that I picked up a camera, it's all about learning. It's all about pushing myself and being creative with it and learning new techniques and trying those things out. Is there any advice or something that worked for you that helped you track your progress and keep going forward on your photography journey? I think the biggest thing is to just keep shooting as much as you can. When people ask me how they can get better or how they can grow, usually my answer is to just go shoot as much as possible. And when you shoot and then you edit, you're looking back at things, you're taking in the mistakes that you think you made, you're getting a better eye for the mistakes that you made, because at first you might be making lots of mistakes, but you might not be able to see them. And something that kind of keeps me accountable to keep learning is to make sure that I'm posting regularly on Instagram. Right now I'm posting 3 times a week, and that kind of makes me get out even in a week where I'm too busy too busy to get out and take some photos. It makes me get out there so that I have some content to post, and that's just super important. And it makes sure that I'm not stagnant, and it forces me to like drum up some creativity. So I would suggest having some kind of accountability for yourself, and then on top of that, just shoot as much as you can. They say that you can't grow without being challenged or without challenging yourself. So what is the most challenging part of photography for you? How do you challenge yourself? I think the challenge that I put on myself is really just to be accountable. I'm a self-starter when it comes to learning and growth, as I've mentioned enough times already answering these questions. But I think the accountability to making sure that I'm posting a certain amount of times, I think that's really the challenge that I put forward for myself, and I love it. I love that little bit of pressure. It's almost like a false pressure, because like obviously if I don't post on Instagram, like nothing's going to happen. The world is not going to stop turning, but it's something that I take seriously because it's important to me, and it's a challenge that I've put on myself as a person to push my creativity and to continue growing in this thing that I love to do. And last but not least, if you could turn back time and restart your journey, what would you do differently? I don't know, again, because I'm still fairly new to this. Like I've really only been shooting photos for 2.5 years at this point. So it feels like current me isn't so different from me 2.5 years ago. So it's tough to know what I would say to myself. The same things, I guess, that I said earlier, where just like keep shooting, make sure you're challenging yourself, make sure that you keep yourself accountable so that you continue your growth, and check in with yourself and make sure that you still enjoy what you're doing. But other than that, like I'm pretty happy with my trajectory here. I'm feeling pretty good. I still feel like I'm learning a lot. I still feel like I'm growing a lot. I still feel like I'm using my creativity. Good job, younger self. You did good, kid, baby Dunna. Baby 30-year-old Dunna. You're a good kid. Bonus question. Whose photography journey story would you love to read/watch next? Name a photographer who inspires you that we should ask for an interview next. You should reach out to Matthew Littlewood, Littlewood Photography on Instagram. He's a buddy of mine that I met when I was in Jasper with Chris and Lizzie, and he's a killer landscape photographer. Yeah, reach out to Matthew. Matt Littlewood, the man. Thanks for having me be a part of your question thinger bobber. It was a lot of fun. If I could turn back time.